Hello everybody, this is Yoko's Anime Reactions, and yeah, ignore that door. Anyway, this is going to be my review for That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, Season 2, Episodes 23 and 24, which is the end of Season 2, and I cannot wait for Season 3 because I've already gotten done recording the readings for the first volume of That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, so I am excited for Season 3, especially because things are getting good. Anyway, I'm assuming that, in the flashback that Clayman was having, when he met up with Demon Lord Kazalim, I'm assuming Demon Lord Kazalim was in control of Yuki at the time. Or maybe he was acting on the guy's wishes. I don't know. Anyway, easily, obviously, the others are having no problems fighting against, Clayman's minions, whatever. Obviously, Veldora somehow managed to get through the barrier in there, just to ask Rimuru for the next volume of that story. And Rimuru tells Veldora, go play with Malim while I go deal with everything else. And he tries to tell Veldora that Malim is, brainwashed. Or, being controlled. And he was like, wait, no, he was starting to say that's impossible. But Rimuru cut him off. And he finds, what was her name? The demon-looking lady fighting the construct that Clayman had sent out. Only to find her already beat it and disassembled it and cleaning the parts. And essentially we find that, she wants to obviously work for Ramirez at this point. I think that was from last episode. And then he goes to check on, Ranga. Ranga's not really having too much of an issue. But we find that the fox demon is being controlled. And somehow Rimuru is able to undo the spell. How's he able to do that? Anyway, he does that. And now the little fox demon's now going to be on their side. And Shion's not having any trouble with Clayman. I was worried that she would have the most trouble, to be completely honest, because I didn't know how strong he was in comparison to her. Turns out we had nothing to worry about. He even tries to essentially mind control her through Demon Marionette, which apparently, according to him, can control even a Demon Lord. Turns out, nope. Nope. And Rimuru ends up easily... No, it was Shion, actually. Shion was actually the one who was easily able to take the guy out, even after he had gone to his true form and cut off his limbs. Turns out that he tries to get Malim to go and, kill all these people for him. And you see Veldora. He must have had regular manga like what we've got with him because he performed the Kamehameha. Oh, Veldora, you are such a silly sauce. It turns out she has not been brainwashed the entire time she was faking it. And Demon Lord Carrion is also alive as well. And they did all this to try and find out what the freak Clayman's up to, essentially. And Frey, whatever her name is, she's been on Malim's side the entire time. Never been allied with Clayman in the first place, because he essentially called her essentially talked about betrayal. And the only way I can betray you, essentially, is if I was on your side to begin with. So that means she's not been on his side. They dispelled the barrier, and Rimuru offers to help carry and, rebuild the city because it's kind of been destroyed because of Malim. And obviously Carrion is ticked off at Malim because of this, because this means that she was in control of her actions the entire time. So she essentially blew up his city and beat him to a bloody pulp as well. And Clayman ends up being awakened essentially, and tries to fight them, but Rimuru decides to fight him on his own to prove that to the others that, he deserves to be a demon lord because, he is a demon lord, but they haven't recognized him yet. So he essentially eats up all of Clayman's attacks with Beelzebub, and decides essentially that you're not worth using my full power on, because he essentially gets him into a punching match, essentially starts wailing on him, essentially with his bare hands, accelerating it with thought process, obviously. Or speeding it up with his abilities. And essentially Clayman gets to the point where he tries to flee, but Rimuru tells him essentially that, yeah, this is not going to work, you're not going to get away from me, you are not going to be able to essentially escape like Demon Lord Kazalim did, because apparently Leon was the one that killed the guy before, but apparently he had escaped, his soul had escaped somehow, and was inhabiting the body of Yuki, which is one of the people that Shizu had helped. It was Yuki and Hinata. And Yuki was the one in charge of the school. Or at least in charge of what I've read on the Free Guild, essentially. And we actually find out that, yes, Clayman is actually weak in comparison to some of the others, like Footman and Tyr. They are stronger than him, apparently. And they even warned him, don't do anything that'll get you put in a dangerous situation, because we might not be able to, help you. And Laplace even warned him to be careful. He didn't listen to any of them. And look at where it's getting him. Dead. Anyway, Rimuru swallows him up with Beelzebub. I don't know what that's going to do to Rimuru at some point, because I don't know if he's going to have his abilities or anything. That would actually be cool if he could. And the rest of the Demon Lords end up recognizing him as a true Demon Lord. And it turns out that both Carrion and Frey end up wanting to relinquish their titles as Demon Lords and serve under Malim instead. And Malim's like, no, don't do this. Why are you doing this? Essentially. And now they have to rename their little group because they've gone from the 10 great Demon Lords to 8. So Clayman wasn't a Demon Lord? He was trying to be one, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, they give that job to Rimuru because apparently, according to the others, he's great at naming things. Oh, no, he's not. Not from what I've read in the books. Because he just comes up with random names, essentially. Not very good ones, according to him. So, after thinking about it, he ends up naming their little group, what was it, Octagram? Because, 8. Octagram. Anyway, everybody agrees, and now they are essentially done as they head back. As for what else is going to end up happening, we don't know. The future's up in the air at this point. I will say this, they are going to have a hard time. If anybody tries to take Rimuru and his group on, they are going to have a hard time with any of them, essentially, because if Diablo has anything to say about it, nothing's going to go after Rimuru. Same goes for the others. All of them are insane. Oh, I just realized something, guys. He ends up giving them titles, the Kijin titles in the books. He gave Benimaru, Samurai General, he gave Shuna Oracle. I don't remember what the others were, but now that I think about it, because they had those titles, when he awoke as a Demon Lord and they got their little extra stuff, that stuff explains it. Oracles are known for being, in tune with the gods, and thus they would have holy abilities, thus explaining why she is able to use holy attacks. And same goes with Benimaru, him being a samurai general, the whole leadership thing, that actually makes sense. I don't remember what the others are, I'd have to go look. But yeah, those actually make sense now that I think about it. So now I am even more excited for Season 3 when that happens. I don't know when. Because Volume 1 barely got to, what episode? Volume 1 got to before... Volume 1 got to after Rimuru got his human body. I think. Essentially, because it got to after he swallowed up Shizu, essentially. At the very least, if I remember correctly. So, Volume 1 only covered that much. I cannot wait to see the rest of the volumes. Anyway, I'll see everybody next time.